What's happening, party people? This is your daily morning motivational message. It is Winning Wednesday, or Wake Up and Win Wednesday, or just make it do what it do Wednesday. We do motivation every day. Why? Because it's a lot like taking a bath. It only lasts for a little while, so you got to get up and do it again the next day and the day after that. And in order to maintain a level of excellence and a freshness in your presentation, and I want your minds to be sharp. I want them to be steel traps when it comes to your positive, uplifting, problem solving, unstoppable, relentless, mentally tough mindset. I want you to be in control of your mind instead of your mind being in control of you. And to that end, on this Winning Wednesday, I want to talk about what is the actual price that you're going to pay for your success. There is a price that we all have to pay for the entry into success. And you don't ask for a discount. Most people don't quit things because they are hard. Most people quit things because they thought it was going to be easy. Most people are wired for something for nothing outcomes. You have to remember the way information has been distributed has changed dramatically in the last 20 years. You have to take into account the speed of information and the speed of feedback, that instant gratification, dopamine hit that people are getting on social media and other platforms all the time. So people have gotten accustomed to seeing and experiencing the world in this virtual dynamic that is not real. Example, if you're in the habit or you ever fell into the habit of watching television, watching half-hour shows or one-hour shows or dramas or series, you'll see a beginning, middle, and end. It happens in a very short, condensed period of time. And then people somehow associate that with their life. They start to live vicariously through what they're watching on the idiot box, the electronic income reducer, the weapon of mass distraction, and they get sucked into this idea that things are supposed to figure themselves out and happen very quickly. So when they embark on a new journey, when they embark on a new adventure, when they embark on a business, a job promotion, whatever that is, losing weight, if it doesn't happen within the time frame that they're seeing it on television, then they think it's not going to work and they get easily discouraged and they quit because they don't understand what is the actual real price I'm going to have to pay to get to this result. And so that's the first thing, is really checking yourself in the accountability mirror and taking a look at what patterns have I established in my life of expectation that are not in alignment with the reality of my situation. Most people don't quit because it was hard. They quit because they thought it was going to be easy. So what I want you to do is I want you to start to take into account your level of self-awareness, your level of understanding that even though I am in the social media landscape and I utilize it for specific purposes, I have to recognize that the algorithms and the programming is designed to keep me focused and attentive to these quick, instant gratification dopamine hits, and I cannot allow that to spill over into the reality of what I'm building, the reality of what I'm pursuing, the reality of what I'm aspiring to. You cannot transform. You cannot create life changing or life change in your life without going through a process. It's going to take time. And because most people are wired for something for nothing, because most people are looking for the easiest path of least resistance, and they don't even know it sometimes, but because that's how they're moving and how their wiring is, they're not aware. And they never get anything done. They never accomplish anything. They set out, they start, they stop, they quit, they start, they stop, they quit, they start, they stop, they quit. They lose the same 10 pounds over and over and over again because they lose it, bring it back, lose it, get it back, lose it, get it back. They keep talking about dreams and aspirations and they start this and they quit. They start that and they quit. They never follow through. They don't have any stick-to-itiveness. They put forth just enough effort to not get any results. And so that will give them a reason to quit and say it doesn't work. It's not because it doesn't work. More often than not, it's because you didn't work. So understand, whatever it is, if you want to get in supreme shape, if you want to lose a certain amount of weight, if you want to have a great relationship, if you want to be a better parent, if you want to be a better business owner, a better leader, it takes time. It is a process. It does not happen overnight. One of the greatest gifts I got was when I was developing and building the foundation for myself as an artist. And I was reading To the Actor by Michael Chekhov. I read the Stanislavski series. What was it? Building a character, becoming an actor, and there was something else in there. But it was 3-book series. And the one thing that I remember, okay, so this is crazy. I read 3 books. I took copious notes. I got it all, all lined up. But there's one thing that I remember from all 3 of those books, and they were not small books. It takes 10 years before you can begin to master your craft. I remember that more than anything else that I read. And I remember because I was reading this in Cleveland, Ohio, when I was doing community theater for free, not getting paid, sometimes $50 a week, but usually for free. And I was having these goals and visions and aspirations of being a full-time working actor living in New York City. But I was in Cleveland, Ohio at the time, working as a substitute teacher. I had no prospects, nothing in front of me to say this was going to happen. I was literally just doing a play at Karamu Theater. The play was called For the Love of the Game. It was about the Negro leagues, baseball leagues. And so I remember reading 10 years. And I remember saying to myself, I can work my butt off for 10 years. I can master my craft in 10 years. I can do it. And you know what happened, ladies and gents? It's exactly what happened. Because I managed my expectations. This was pre-Facebook, by the way, pre-social media. So I managed my expectations and I was willing to put in the work every single day. I was willing to pay the price because I understood the price and I knew exactly what I wanted, and it was a non-negotiable for me. And because I made that decision, here I am. The last film set, well, I shouldn't use that. So, because I did a movie in November of 25. But prior to that, the last time I was shooting a film, was 2006. So almost 20 years later, it was 20 years before the last film and the film that I just did recently. Okay, that's 20 years. Watch this. Because I made the commitment, because I knew the price that had to be paid, because I wasn't looking for a quick dopamine hit or instant gratification or something for nothing or the path of least resistance, because I wasn't easily discouraged, because I was never ever going to quit, because it was a non-negotiable and I was supremely focused on getting mastery in my craft. Because of that, I did end up on Broadway. I was off Broadway. I did perform all over the United States. I did perform in England. I did perform in Russia. I did perform in major motion pictures. I did work with some of the actors I grew up watching, like Mr. Denzel Washington, like Jodie Foster, like Christopher Plummer, like Clive Owen, or Susan Sarandon. I loved working with Susan Sarandon. Ray Fiennes, loved working with Ray Fiennes. So I ended up in those situations. And to this day, I'm getting paid every single quarter on movies and television that I did. Now, I haven't been on a set, like I said, in 20 years, but I'm getting paid every single quarter because of the work that I did. And it's not because of the films and televisions that I shot, shows and movies that I did. It's because of the 10 years I put in mastering my craft. So I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand the price that you're going to have to pay for what it is that you want? I'm not talking about a forever grind. I am talking about a season of your life when you are absolutely dedicated to your own personal transformation. So it could be anything, okay? Like if you're saying, Ed, I just want to get in shape. I want to take better care of myself. My blood pressure's up. My cholesterol sucks. My insulin's out of control. My inflammation is knocking me out. I got to get better. Then let's focus for a season of your life on your supreme health. Let's focus on what we're putting into your body. Let's focus on a daily, consistent regimen of exercise and physically working out. Let's focus on your mind, making sure that you're reading and listening to things that are uplifting you every single day so you can stay on task. That's what I'm talking about, paying the price for what it is that you say that you want. For my entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs out there, there's a price we got to pay. It's for a season. It's not forever. But you got to understand where you're going, because once you get to where you're going to be able to have a few more options. Once you get to where you're going to be able to reset, hit a new goal, but you're not going to have to do it the exact same way. I would much rather you have the time, the quality time to spend with your loved ones, the quality time to continue to work on yourself, because cash flow is no longer an issue because you took a season. You dedicated your life for a season to pay the actual price. And once I began to understand the actual price, that's when my world and my eyes began to truly open up. I had success without actually paying a real price. I had a lot of skills that I came to the table with. I had timing and I had a relentless drive, and there was no way I was not going to win. But there was a lot I left on the table because I didn't understand the actual real price that I could have paid. And now that I understand it, I got it. So I would rather, pay it now so that I can play later. Pay it up front now so that you can play later. Pay now, play later. And if now is 24 months, 36 months, 50 months, whatever that price may be. And so if you could bust it out for 2, 3, 4, 5 years and then have the next 25, 30, 35, 40 years to be able to pick your spots. I'm not saying you're just going to stop working forever. I'm saying I'd rather you have 30, 40 years of picking your spots because you took 4 to 5 years to really grind it out in terms of what it is that you're aspiring to. So understand the price, the actual price of what you're going to have to pay for your goals and your dreams. I hope that your dreams and your goals are big enough, significant enough, impactful enough that there's a real price to be paid. But do not get to the toll of entering into your own future success and have the audacity to ask for a discount, to have the nerve to ask for a discount. You get to the toll fare and you got to pay your price for success. Don't you dare ask for a discount. You pay full price and you do it with joy and enthusiasm because you know clearly where you're going. You have a clear, concise mental picture. You know what the desired outcome is. You have a vision that you're casting for yourself and others. You're living in your future. You're emotionally engaging with your compelling future. You're celebrating things that haven't even happened yet because that is the magic of the mind. What we think about, we bring about. What we focus on the longest becomes the strongest. Everything is created 3 times. First, up here in our mind's eye, we speak it, and then it becomes manifest because our actions are in alignment with our vision. I'm so excited for you to bring your vision to fruition. I'm so excited for you to really understand that there's so much in you that you haven't even tapped into yet. I'm so excited for you to figure out what working hard really means. If you're the hardest worker in any room that you walk into, your success is most virtually certain, most certainly guaranteed. If you are the hardest working in any room, if you're focusing on getting better every single day, the marketplace is going to reward you. And think about the number of people that you're going to be able to bless as a result of the work that you put in. So I'm fired up. I'm excited. It's Winning Wednesday, y'all. This is your daily morning motivational message. If you got some value out of this, please like and subscribe. And if you want to share this video with some other people, maybe it'll light their fire. Maybe it'll be a good reminder of them of understanding there are levels to this. You think you're working hard. Wait until you get next to somebody who's really working hard. What if you're that person? You think you have a high standard of success, a high standard of expectation, a high standard of your own personal cash flow. Wait until you get next to somebody who really has a high standard. There are levels to this. And I submit to you that there are greater levels for you to ascend to. Your goals and your dreams are worth it. You're worth it. Your family, your friends, and all the people that you're going to be able to bless as a result of your putting in the work and making the sacrifice right now. It's all going to be worth it. I cannot wait. So go ahead and share this video because it's a blessing to be a blessing. We'll see you tomorrow.